Hi guys, we're live. Right, now I've got me coffee. Coffee time. Hi Pat. Hi Deborah. Let me just tell them that we're live. Defending Elvis Presley on Facebook. We have a 24-hour... Oh, the sun suddenly decided to go in my face. It wasn't there just now. We have a 24-hour... Let me move this nearer to me. Shh. Let's get the camera nearer. Let's move the table. No, I'm just moving back to try and get away from the sun. Bit better. It's on my... The sun now is here. Here. That's okay. I can handle that. Shall I go a bit further back? I go a bit more back. There we go. This morning, we had the sun right in my face. It was blooming annoying. Now it's here. Look. It's like I've got a heart of gold. Who thinks I've got a heart of gold? Anyway, right, don't lean right this way. Move camera this way. Oh well, that'll do. Let's straighten it. Whoa. Okay, hope you're all good. I've been out all day. I've been at work. I've actually worked for a change at my properties. It's not going to work, is it? The sun, like, do I sit here? Do I sit there? Right, let me just see if I can move. Don't know, guys. Anyway, let's keep going. So, how is everyone? It's Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. I got my coffee ready. So, if it is the afternoon, the kids have gone out with my wife, but the kids may turn up. So, let's just tell everyone we're live. So, Defending Elvis Presley, fans want the truth. The Facebook page, we go on there, we tell everyone we're live, and there's a chat on there. Please use it, guys. Please use the chat. Let me just tell everyone there. We have two chats. We also have a chat under my name, Louis Macready's. Let's have a look. Let's find the other chat. I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. I had a brilliant live stream with you guys this morning. Right, we're live. Right, should we remind... Deborah's on. What, should we tell Colleen? Because Colleen sometimes doesn't get the messages. Let's have a look. Diana sometimes doesn't get the messages. So I'll let Diana know. Let's find Colleen. Colleen Philomena sometimes doesn't get the messages. Philomena, are you there? Let's have a look. See if she comes up on my little list. Sometimes it's hard to find. There we go. Philomena. Obviously, you're in all different parts of the world, guys. You are around the world. Yeah? So it's very hard to let all of you know. This is why we created these 24-hour chats. So obviously, the 24-hour chats are also good for... exchanging information, getting to know each other, videos, pictures, everything. So the live stream this morning, we did concentrate on, let me just check something. We concentrated on the Piers Morgan interview. Now, what we're trying to do, we have done a live stream on this before, but I think we've learned a lot in the last 3-4 months. We've learned a lot more about Priscilla and the life that she led, the mistakes she made, the different boyfriends. We've learned a lot more about the details, like the unfaithfulness, the divorce settlements, the divorce depositions. I hope you got your coffee, guys. You are going to need a coffee. Now, we've got about an hour, yeah? Bit shorter than normal, but that'll do. An hour will do for now. I have uploaded another one of our live streams. So what I've started doing, guys, as you know, I'm starting to upload the live streams to the video channel to give other people a chance to watch the live streams, to bring more people in our channel defending Elvis Presley. Yeah. So the reason we're doubling on the videos. When you go onto my channel, Defending Elvis Presley on YouTube, trying to bring more people in, because I have learnt that many of the watch the videos under the heading video on my YouTube channel do not watch the lives, and vice versa. Many of the people that watch the lives, like we are here now on the live stream, many of the people that watch this live don't watch the videos. So this is why I'm uploading them twice. So I've just uploaded one that we did yesterday. So I think we learned a lot from the live stream that we had. I think we learned a lot. This is the one we did this morning. Yeah, it's over 2 hours long, guys. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. It was very interesting. We're really starting to expose the things that Priscilla has said in the 80s. Actually, we'll go a bit further back. The things, like, this is what we worked out together with Team Elvis. Meant the way that Priscilla was being interviewed and how she came across up until the early 80s, she was a much softer, more likable, how can I say it? She wasn't out hell-bent to get Elvis, to attack Elvis. She was much milder. Now, we know that, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, those sort of years, we know that everything that had happened up until that point. We know about the Steve Peck, the dance instructor, unfaithfulness just after Lisa Marie was born in 68. Then we know about Mike Stone around 71-ish. That horrible affair, the karate guy, who instructed her karate. We know about how horrible that was and how it wrecked Elvis. And then we know about the divorce settlements, 2 of them. And then we know that she basically went on with her life and eventually we worked out, she was seeing, I think, did we work out after Mike Stone, did we work out that it was Michael Edwards? Did we work that out? I can't remember now. No, Robert Kardashian, then Michael Edwards. I think I'm forgetting. Anyway, my point is this. Those years, those early years, she does seem to have been much kinder and friendlier and nicer in the interviews. She wasn't trashing Elvis. I would say the opposite. I would say she was bigging up Elvis and proud of his legacy, trying to enhance his reputation. Let me just get it up for you guys. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find one, yeah? So then we worked out, this is what we were learning, yeah? That around 1985, something changed where she was really on the attack, really playing the victim, not the sweet, friendly person that only wanted to portray Elvis in a good light, in a respectful light that enhanced his image and reputation and preserved his legacy. She changed. Now, we've already shown this. If you watch this morning's live stream, you'll see that there was a very obvious change. And I might just quickly play a clip of it. I'm just trying to find it now, guys. Okay, let's just have a look. So, obviously, we're going to go back to the Piers Morgan interview as well. Oh, I need to warm my coffee up, but I'll do that in a sec. So, I'm going to find an old interview. Yeah? Only going to play a couple of minutes of it. Now, by the way, it's Louis at Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. I've been a fan of Elvis for over 50 years. I'm in Southwest UK, near Bristol, in a small town called Weston-super-Mare. And together with Team Elvis, we have been slowly growing this channel, Defending Elvis Presley. And together we are doing our research, finding our pictures, videos, documents. And together we're just trying to open people's eyes to reality, not Priscilla's reality, to the real reality, not Priscilla's rewriting of history. We're trying to show people that there is another truth, that what we've been spoon-fed may not be true, could be a lie for entertainment purposes, yeah? Everything we do on this show is for entertainment purposes. Well done, Linda, you got your coffee. It's our opinions. We can't prove it as fact, but we can give you an idea that Elvis has been very unfairly treated, unfairly portrayed, that Elvis was the victim, not Priscilla, because the whole world has, in our opinion, believes that Priscilla was the victim. Now, this is no lie, guys. When I went to work today, there was this old second-hand shop, and I went in there and I spoke to a guy, a very nice guy. He was 67 years old, obsessed with the Beatles and Elvis, and he said something funny to me. He said he showed me the Baz Luhrmann film because he was selling it on a CD, second-hand, yeah, a junk shop, yeah, a car boot sale, yeah. And I said to him, "Oh, I run an Elvis channel called Defending Elvis." He goes, "Oh, I wasn't that keen on the Baz Luhrmann film." Yeah. So then he goes, "I like Sofia Coppola's film." Yeah. And I'm like, obviously, he doesn't really know the point of my channel. And I said to him, "Oh, yeah, why do you prefer the Sofia Coppola film?" He said, "Because she was much more artistic, and the way that she portrayed Priscilla was more truthful." Yeah. Now, as soon as he said that to me, I will say this. He was a bit camp. Yeah. I don't mean that negatively. As soon as he said that to me, I thought, "You're a Priscilla fan. You're a Priscilla fan." And this is what we're trying to get at, guys. Yeah. This is what now this is what we're trying to get at. Okay. Geo, for entertainment purposes only. We're trying to get this, that we got an uphill challenge here. We got an uphill task. There's millions of Priscilla fans that have been completely conned and bought into the narrative of this fake book. The Rewriting of History by Priscilla. This book did not include Elvis. Elvis had been dead 7 years, maybe 8 years. The Rewriting of History. So we got our work cut out for us, because this man, just a 67-year-old man, proud to be into the music of the 50s and 60s and 70s, said to me the Sofia Coppola film was nearer the truth. We got our work cut out, guys. Now, I could have said something to him. I didn't. I just thought, leave him alone. He doesn't know what I know. Shall I stand here and try and change that man's mind? Nah. He's all in love with his fake version of Priscilla. I hope he doesn't watch this. Now, I respect him. He was a lovely man. Yeah? But why? Why does that man, a 67-year-old man who had watched the Baz Luhrmann film and the Priscilla film, very different films, yeah? The Priscilla film, Sofia Coppola's film, is exactly the same as this. Yeah? Almost word for word. Yeah? And he bought into it and he thinks, poor Priscilla. Oh, what did she go through? Yeah? That's the storyline of the Priscilla film, Sofia Coppola's film, that Lisa Marie did not want made. Yeah? That Priscilla promoted after her daughter died. What does it really say? Elvis met me when I was 14. I was underage. Elvis was a paedophile. Elvis took advantage of me, used me, forced me to live in Gracelands. Whilst I was living in Gracelands all alone, completely on my own, because there's a scene. It shows Kaylee, what's her name? Kaylee Spacey. It shows the person who's playing Priscilla stood all on her own in the lounge. You know, we know the big long white sofa in the lounge. Yeah, the dining room, whatever you want to call it. It shows her go bored out of her head, looking out the window. Poor me, you know, I'm all alone. There's no one here to talk to. Elvis has left me and gone to make his movies. He's gone in his converted bus. Doesn't it? when the truth is, Elvis Graceland's was always buzzing with life, even when Elvis wasn't there. It was always buzzing with life. She had her own car. She had lots of friends, family, the wives of the Memphis Mafia. There was a lot of comings and going, and there was other relatives living there. So this is the storyline. She's all alone in a prison. Then Elvis would come back, not give her much attention. It was obvious that Elvis was being unfaithful and had an affair with Anne Margaret, etc. Elvis wasn't nice to her, wasn't friendly to her, wasn't kind to her. And then eventually she's had enough because he's getting into drugs. He's very distant. So she says, sod you, I'm out of here. And she runs off with Mike Stone to find herself. That's the story, yeah? This man who I spoke to for quite a long time, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a really sweet man, had completely fallen for the Sofia Coppola Priscilla film. Completely fallen for it. Oh, that version of the truth was much better because he felt sorry for Priscilla. Priscilla came across as the victim. Poor me. Look what I went through. Oh, my God. When we know it's the other way around. Elvis was the victim. Elvis went through hell. Elvis was used and abused and took advantage of, seriously mistreated through the dance instructor affair in 1968, just after the baby's born, 10 months after he married her. Then again, in around end of 1970, 71, she runs off, secret affair with Mike Stone, the karate guy, the karate instructor. Then it all comes out. Then she demands a divorce. Yeah? Then she hammers him for 2 divorce settlements, literally hammers him. And then she's down the road with all his bags of money and properties and with her new boyfriends. Many of them. Now this man, 67-year-old man in the market store that spoke to me, has no idea. That man, 67-year-old man, a sweet man, has no idea about all these things that happened. No idea. He just thinks, oh yeah, Elvis took advantage of a 14-year-old girl, took drugs, slept with loads of people, committed adultery, abused her, maybe even raped her. And then poor Priscilla had enough, so she runs away to escape the prison. This is how the guy thinks. And that's why he said the Priscilla film was nearer the truth. When the truth is, there hasn't been a film made that's near the truth. Has there? There hasn't been a film made that's near the truth. I just want to warm my coffee up because I got a bit more to say, guys. So, you get what I'm saying? Yeah? You get it? The world has been brainwashed. The world has been brainwashed. That's the truth of it. That man believes everything in that film. Everything. Right. So, just 1 second, guys. Okay, I got my coffee. I hope you guys have got your coffee because we've got a little while here. Now, unfortunately, the sun is right in my face. Whee! Woo! We ain't getting away from it, so it doesn't matter. Do I lean back? Do I lean forward? Okay, let's keep going. So, actually, if I go this way, what do you reckon? So that means I got to move this way. And if I move this way, let's try and move this way without the camera breaking. You know me, guys. I'll blow it, break it. A bit better. A bit better. What do you reckon, guys? Okay, let's read some comments. Hope you can help the end and saying the old rubbish she's been spouting forever. Priscilla let's have a look. She's just mentioned how she is trying to help the grandkids. I said, oh, by seeing them in court, how she is a Hallmark actress mourning the lies. Let's have a look. As long as we can have Louis, Shauna and Rhonda can all fight the fight. Yeah, and not just Shauna and Rhonda. We love Shauna and Rhonda, but other channels as well. Any channels that want to defend Elvis. You've got Rare Elvis Photos. He's a great channel. I learn a lot from Rare Elvis Photos. So there's a few good channels out there, guys. EP Fan Archive. He's pretty good. Right. Okay. So we get the gist. The world has been brainwashed, in my opinion. That guy isn't the only person that thinks that way, that thinks that Elvis is the bad guy and that Priscilla has done no wrong. It's half the world, isn't it? Half the world, guys. Half the world think that all the wrongdoing was done by Elvis. Yeah? Especially the non-fans. Especially the non-fans. Right.
I'm also going to try and remind a few other people.
Right, hang on. Okay, so what we're going to do quickly, remember the kids are here, so they might walk, my older kids are here, so they might walk in the room behind me. It's just quick. Louis, you're glowing red today, and the Priscilla, Elvis and Me book was on the bestseller list for over 50 years. And she rewrote history. Hi, Chrissy. Can I just say something? 2 days ago, and I forgot to tell you this, can any of you confirm this? Joel Weishankar and Elvis Presley Enterprises have now banned the book Elvis and Me from being sold at Graceland. Is this true? I repeat. Maybe you know, Chrissy. Hi, is that Rio? Maybe you know, this is Rio, my 16-year-old boy. Maybe you know, is it true that Elvis and Me has been banned from being sold at Gracelands, at the museum, the Living Museum? So I read this 2 days ago. I'd like to know if that's true, because it's quite a big deal, isn't it? Because I'm pretty sure that Joel Weishankar has distanced himself from Priscilla, wants nothing to do with her. Now, I could be wrong. Oh, actually, there was something else that I was wrong about. So, Chrissy, you like my red T-shirt? There's another thing. Now, the other day, Nicola, we all know Nicola. She's an avid Elvis fan. She's met Elvis, met it a few times. Very, very passionate fan. Very passionate. Now, she asked me, she mentioned the other day about, that she hopes that the book or the interview may expose Priscilla for her wrongdoing. Now, I must repeat, we are not a Priscilla hate channel. I don't hate Priscilla. I want Priscilla to meet us and forgive, so we can forgive her if she apologizes. So we are not a Priscilla hate channel. I must repeat that. Anyway, this is what I think I may be wrong about. I thought, how can I say it? Now, Chrissy said, no. Nicola said, I hope the book, the new book, Riley's book, Lisa's book, exposes Priscilla's wrongdoing. And then she also said, I hope the Oprah and Lisa interview, Oprah and Riley, I hope the Oprah and Riley Q interview that's coming out on the 8th of October, I think 8 p.m. American time, yeah? I hope it exposes wrongdoing of Priscilla. And I said, I might have said it yesterday. I don't think it's going to do that. I think it's just going to praise Lisa Marie, Elvis, Riley, the twins. Yeah? Be a massive tribute to Lisa Marie. This is what I was expecting from the Oprah and Lisa Marie at Gracelands. This historic moment that's going to happen at Gracelands. Oprah with I keep mixing up my names with Riley. Sorry, I'm mixing up my names. Oprah and Riley, massive interview all around the world. Yeah, and I think it will get beamed in America first, and then it will go around the rest of the world. Yeah. But then I saw the trailer. Let's find it. Then I saw the trailer. Let's see if it comes up. And actually, they are saying some things. So, Nicola, I could be wrong. Maybe they are going to expose some wrongdoing of Priscilla. So let's find the trailer. Let's just see. Let's just see, guys. Let's have a look. Is it going to come up? We want the trailer. Come on, where is it? Do any of you guys have it? Let's have a look. I want the one that was released the other day. Come on, where are you? I know you guys have sent it me. Actually, it might be on the Defending Elvis page. If any of you have got it, quickly send it me. But let me just see. I know it's here because I posted it the other day. Come on, where are you? It's here somewhere. It's typical, isn't it, guys? Typical. Right, hang on. It's going to come out. It's going to come out. I'm not going to give up. Never give up. We never give up at Defending Elvis Presley. The trailer that is promoting the Oprah and Riley interview does say a few things in it that gives the impression that they are going to say something. Let's have a look. So if I can't find it there, who would have sent it me? Let's think. There's a few of you that send me great stuff. Rose always sends me good stuff. I bet Rose has sent it me. Rose Finney, are you there? Let's see if Rose has sent it me. She's pretty good, Rose. She's on it. Come on, guys. While I'm looking, someone send it me. Do any of you have? Oh, where is it? Why is it not coming up? What's going on? Someone send me the trailer of Oprah and Riley. Do any of you have it? Let me just, I'll type it into Google. When I watched it, they were talking about some quite serious things. Oh, actually, I know where I found. I remember where I found it. I saw it now. I'm gonna get it, guys. I'm gonna get it. You know it was on Lisa Marie's fan page. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm on that. Let's have a look. I'm gonna find it, guys. My middle name is Never Give Up. Okay. Let's have a look. Maybe by being an A student, baby. Come on, come on, come on. I know it was... I actually posted it on one of my videos, didn't I? No, not that. Not... Oh, I'm gonna... Is that it? Ah! I found it. Right, it's not very good quality, but it's only 30 seconds wrong. This might not be the one that I saw. The one I saw was saying quite interesting details. Let's just play it.
Oh my gosh! The memoir that your mother Lisa Marie started before she died. From here to the great unknown. I knew that Graceland was a place that she felt free. When did you know that drugs were a problem for your mother? She was taking up to 80 pills a day. Your grandmother, Priscilla, also wants to be buried here with Elvis. Do you think she will be? An Uber special, the Presleys.
See the ending? She says, your grandmother Priscilla also wants to be buried here. Now that tells me that she also mentioned about 80 pills a day for, I'm guessing, for Lisa. I'm going to do that. All right, I love you. You're the best. That tells me, guys, the fact that she said your grandmother wants to be buried here, they are going to talk about Priscilla. Do we agree with that? They're going to talk about Priscilla. So, Nicola, you may be right. You may be right. Maybe they are going to dig up some dirt. What do you guys think? That's what I thought when I saw that. Okay. Now, let's try and find an interview of this Priscilla in the 1970s. I'm only gonna. We've already done this, but I'm going to do it again, slightly different. Right. Okay. Well, now I'm not sure. Now I'm thinking, oh, maybe Oprah doesn't want to be too soft. Maybe Oprah wants to dig up the dirt as well. Now look at this. There's a very old. I'm just at home chilling out, and I've come across this Priscilla Presley interview from the 1970s.
I guess most young ladies around the world would think about your marriage as being a kind of storybook, fantasy type marriage.
And the interviewer is Elliot Mintz. Anyway, let's keep listening.
What was it like, really, to have been married to Elvis Presley?
The only thing that was hard was the fact that he was gone most of the time, and only because of his business, which, of course, you know, he has to do that, too, to make a living.
Let's keep listening.
You go out and go to nightclubs and dance. Was it mainly staying home?
Yes. Mm-hmm. We had our own particular people that we had get-togethers with or whatever, and we kind of had them over every night, and it was like that most of the time. They're still with him, and it's pretty much the same, really, as it was when we were married.
Well, that's it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Well, I think that's right. I think that was actually filmed before Elvis died. Yeah, this is so after the split, before he died. Quite a sweet Priscilla, friendly. She didn't say a bad word about him. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say to you guys. There was a period after they divorced, around 73, I think to about 1984, 83, where she was still being very nice about Elvis. She was being very sweet about him, only speaking highly of him. And that is the Priscilla that, you know, where we hear her say, oh, we were better apart. We were better apart. We were better friends apart. We were still good friends. I now think that what she meant was the first few years, she was quite nice to him. They were nice to each other, I think, around, not straight after the divorce. I think around, once Elvis had got used to the idea that Priscilla was gone, she was with Mike Stone, living with him. Elvis took some personal blame, blamed himself, personal responsibility, blamed himself for the breakup. He said it in concert, didn't he? I was away all the time. We grew apart. Yeah. Almost apologizes to Priscilla, doesn't he? Introduces Priscilla and one of his girlfriends. Was it Ginger? I can't remember. No, not Ginger. I can't remember. He introduces one of his girlfriends. No, it wasn't Ginger. He introduces one of his girlfriends, doesn't he, when he apologizes to Priscilla. But my point is this. I think there was a few years where Priscilla was being quite kind and quite nice and wasn't being horrible about Elvis. And then we jump into the 80s and she does the Barbara Walters interview and a few others where she's quite playing the victim, being quite nasty, saying some quite horrible things about Elvis, portraying and painting a completely different Elvis. She starts to share with the world this perspective of Elvis, this view of him, yeah, which we know is not true. So something changed, guys. Something changed. And we've worked out. I think we worked out that she was. I think we worked out that she had started seeing Michael Edwards. So did Michael Edwards have this effect on her, where she almost like she was getting revenge? She was getting her back on Elvis. Yeah. So let me just see if I can find another sweet interview of the 1970s. This is 1978. Let's have a look. We did play a bit of this. Let me just let's get it up, guys. Where are we? Let's find it. Let's see if I can find a different one. Let's have a look. Let's find one that I want to see before. Then I want to see after.
I can't even put it in words. It was.
So I may have already played this, but my point I'm trying to get at, guys, is that she wasn't there. This is 1978, yeah?
Right. It was beautiful that they were presenting this statue, but it didn't feel right. Elvis wasn't there. Do you get any special feelings if you turn on your car radio or turn on your house radio and hear Elvis's music? Oh, absolutely. Because I know what was going on during all the songs that were being recorded at the time. What was said, what the feeling was toward the song, if he should do the song. So the memory of what was happening during that time comes up. And it's difficult. It's difficult listening to the records. It's difficult. Your mind starts to wonder. It starts to go back. And again, you try to think, well, it's not Elvis. But you can't escape it. I'm curious.
Just a little clip. She's being sweet about Elvis. Oh, I miss him, you know. Elvis is not around. Yeah? 1978. Okay, now Vibex just said she sent me a couple of things. Vibex, is this... The things you sent me, are they... Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. 1 second, guys. The things you sent me, the Bex, is it to do with what we're talking about? Let's have a look. Mm-hmm. 1 second, it's all right. Right. Okay, let's keep going. Right, where were we? We were just checking to see if the Bex, did you email me? Oh, you sent them here? Oh, I can't do them on. Oh, did you send them on the chat? Sorry, it has to be direct to me on Messenger, or you can't email them. Oh, someone's here we go. Jane has sent me something. Let's have a look. Is that? Let me just see if that's a video. Oh no, it's the right app. Right, let me just read this. It's only short. In the interview with Riley and Oprah, it will share what the writing process was like for Riley, as well as stories of remembrance of her mother. Additional, this special feature, never before seen family photos of home videos, as well as selecting of Lisa's Marie's personal audio recordings, including memories of her father, whom Lisa Marie remembers in the opening of her book by writing, "I felt my father could change the weather. He was good. He was like God to me." Okay. Anyway, I want to just carry on. Oh, look at that. Hidden Minds, 10,000. Hidden Minds, 10,000 views. Come on. Go, Renee. Renee, we're so proud of you. 10,000 views. When I first found Hidden Minds channel, it was 700 subscribers. Now he's got 10,000 subscribers. 10,000 subscribers, my friend. Wow, you deserve it. You deserve it. Right, I think the Bex has just emailed me. Let's have a look.
Opera Gibber and Riley Keough, the 70-year-old media icon, made headlines. Not talking at one point, they came to a settlement in Jabber of 2023.
Right, not that one. Let's try the other one.
Bombshell interview. The exclusive segment will feature Riley Keough.
All right, let's play this one. This is what the Bex just sent me, and then we'll go back onto the topic, yeah? Thank you, the Bex.
Oprah's interview will take place in Elvis Presley's famous home, Graceland. Oprah Winfrey has lined up her next bombshell interview. The exclusive segment will feature Riley Keough, the granddaughter of Elvis Presley and owner of the Graceland estate. The interview will broach many topics, including Lisa Marie Presley, her memoir, and more of the Presley family. An Oprah special, The Presleys Elvis, Lisa Marie, and Riley, will air on October 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. It will also be available to stream on Paramount+. The interview takes place in Graceland and marks Kia's first in-depth interview since the death of her mother. Kia is expected to discuss her mother's memoir, From Here to the Great Unknown, which Kia completed following her mother's passing. It will feature new family photos, home videos, Lisa's audio recordings, and more. It also features Kia discussing her family in depth, something that's rare considering the fact that she's a relatively private person. According to CBS, the special will have her dive into the highs and lows of being a part of the Presley family, and her close relationship with her mother. Riley shares what the writing process was like and stories and remembrances of her mother, shares CBS. Also featured are never-before-seen family photos and home videos, as well as selections of Lisa Marie's personal audio recordings, including memories of her father, about whom Lisa Marie begins the book by writing, "I felt my father could change the weather. He was a god to me, a chosen human being." From Here to the Great Unknown comes out on October 8th, and features a personal dive into one of the world's most famous families. Lisa Marie shares memories of her childhood, her father's death, her marriages, and her struggles with addiction. Kia shared a statement following the news of the release of the memoir, revealing how excited she was for readers to meet Lisa Marie anew. "I'm so excited to share my mom now."
Please don't forget
That's
to
interesting.
like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to remain.
That's very interesting. Thank you, Vibex. Did you send me another one? No, I think that was done there. Thank you, Vibex. Thank you. Right. Okay. Let's go. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on. So we've got. Let's get. So I was gonna just play one more sweet interview if I can find one that just shows her different. That shows her not attacking Elvis in the late 70s.
Saying, well, I hear products. It's the privacy thing. Does it frighten?
In 1 year, lots of color and.
When you were married to Elvis, the excitement and the hubbub.
Right. Okay. Let's listen to this for a bit, and then we'll go to the Piers Morgan one.
Right. What about when you were married to Elvis, the excitement and the hubbub and the total public quality and whatever of that kind of life, and yet you stayed apart. You stayed private then. How did all of that affect you, do you think?
Gosh, I learned a lot from that, David. I mean, it was a real learning experience. I would never want to, be in that lifestyle again. I mean, it was demanding, and you realize how much the public does demand of you.
But you don't regret it.
No, I don't regret it in any way. I think it's a big part of my life. I could never regret it at all.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about Lisa. She's 11. How does she respond to all this? Have you discussed this with her?
Right. So, okay. So I think I've made my point. I think. Oh no, I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. She's not going to badmouth Elvis. She's not going to. Yeah. Now let's look at the year of that. 1979. Yeah. Now I bet you if I found others, from the 80s, I don't think I can find any more. I don't think she doesn't say, but she just praises him, misses him. Yeah. Even though she's actually with with Michael Edwards. I don't know. In 1979, who was she with? Remind me. Yeah. Right. Now hang on. Right. Wait a minute. I'll play this. I'll come back.
You were 14 years old. Elvis was 24. How did your parents allow a 14-year-old teenager baby to be with this then superstar?
It was not easy on my parents. First of all, it was just an innocent meeting. And of course, I was excited and I was reluctant because I didn't think they'd ever let me go. But it was just a one-time opportunity. That's all they thought it would be. I never expected him to ask me back. They never expected him to ask me back.
But Elvis did ask you back, and you saw him again and again. And you would get home very late at night and be exhausted the next day when you had to go to school. And your parents let you go again and again.
It's you know, when you're in love, it's hard to fight. And I was rebellious somewhat, meaning I didn't want to go to school, or I said I wouldn't go to school. Please let me, you know, he'd be out of my life after 6 months, and you know, don't ruin my life, because I really cared. And he came to the house, and he was charming. He was wonderful, and my family had a lot of faith in him.
What was Elvis Presley like?
Now see,
He was.
now remember, this now is 1985. Yeah, 1985. I think someone messaged me saying it was September the 10th or 11th, 1985. Now this Priscilla is a very different Priscilla from the Priscilla of 1978 and 9. Yeah, this Priscilla is out to be seen as a victim, to portray Elvis as a predator, as unfaithful, as an abuser, as a controller, a groomer. This Priscilla is very, I am rewriting history. I am going to tell the world my version of things. Very, very similar to what went into this book. Remember, this book was a rewriting of history. Elvis had no say in this book. Elvis could not defend himself. Whatever went in this book was Priscilla's doing. She was literally given a blank sheet, and she can say whatever she wanted, and no one disagreed with her. No one defended Elvis. And then that blank sheet, this book, became exactly what was used for the next 40 years, more or less, how she was questioned in interviews, how movies were made, how documentaries were made, how TV dramas were made, how biographies were made, even more books were all based on this. If you go on YouTube now and find just standard documentaries that talk about Elvis's life, it will follow the storyline of this. Going way back to Tupelo, where Elvis was born, it will just follow the storyline from this version, this point of view, Priscilla's version. How can that be right, guys? How can that be right? Something changed. Around 1985, she changed her narrative to making Elvis look bad, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes.
With crying, going, I don't know what to do. You know, and
Let's go a bit more forward.
And that's how he liked it at times, like a cocoon, almost like a wound, I guess, just enclosed. It was his way of getting away.
And then every night to go to sleep, he'd take some pills.
He'd have to. I mean, he would. He had a fear of insomnia, first of all, and when he woke up, he had a horrible fear he could never get back to sleep again. And it was real.
So every night he took the pills, and he gave them to you too?
Yes.
And they became normal?
Mm-hmm.
So this is this bizarre life of being able to have or buy anything you want, loneliness, days of being alone with him in darkened rooms, pills, and you loved him.
Mm-hmm.
Was he good to you?
Very.
Was
So,
he not so bad to you?
I think I don't have to play any more about that. Yeah. The whole thing of that interview, Barbara Walters' interview, where she says, so this is this bizarre life of him giving you pills. Come on. Sleeping pills. He gave her a sleeping pill. Big deal. How many people took sleeping pills in the 70s? Yeah. Serious. Even in the 60s. It was pretty normal. Even now. How many of you take sleeping pills? Pretty normal. But no. So this is this bizarre life in darkened rooms, taking sleeping pills. Yeah. The whole point of that interview, and it really infuriates me, not just Priscilla, also Barbara Walters, was to trash Elvis, to bash Elvis, to make Priscilla look like a victim. That was the whole point. It disgusts me that the public around the world, including me, fell for it. We all fell for it. We believed every word she said. We believed every word that was in this book. All of us were a bunch of mugs. Honestly, guys, we all fell for it. Very few people disagreed with this book, disagreed with that interview. And then it's 1985. For the next, how many years? 39 years, is it? People have followed that storyline. That Elvis was this predator, this pedophile, this groomer, this controller, this rapist, this drug addict, this adulterer. It was his fault that the marriage ended. Everything went wrong because of Elvis, because of this interview and others like it. You get it? Who's defending Elvis? Who's standing up for Elvis? Where are the Elvis defenders? There are none. Until now, in the last, I think for over 20 years now, there's been many people trying to defend Elvis, but they've been doing it on the internet, on social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We, the Elvis fans, are trying to defend Elvis. Team Elvis. We're trying to defend Elvis, yeah? But my God, Elvis has had to take 40 years of abuse. And now if you speak to a non-Elvis fan and you say, oh, I'm an Elvis fan, he will laugh at you and give you a dirty look and say he was a pervert, he was a drug addict, and he was a pedophile, an adulterer, and that Priscilla was an innocent victim that Elvis took advantage of because she was 14. This is what is said. Anyway, we need to jump forward, yeah? So now we're going to jump forward to the Piers Morgan interview. You get what I'm saying, guys? In the late 70s, she seemed okay, trying to keep his memory good. In the 80s, she's hell-bent on trashing him. Now, jump forward to 2024. A completely different tune. A completely different tune. She's trying to backtrack. She's trying to make things right. Yeah? Let's have a look. Let's keep watching the rest of this and let's watch it and be
energy levels through the roof. I mean, he was Elvis Presley. The charisma was just sort of sense you get in the movie.
So we're going to watch it. We're going to see how her tune has changed because I think Priscilla has calmed down. She's trying to backtrack. She's trying to right the wrongs. She's being very careful with her questioning. She's already said she doesn't know what a groomer is. She didn't think he was controlling. This is the new Priscilla that is changing, that has forgotten all of the bad things that she said in the 80s. Yeah? She's got a short memory, hasn't she? But we haven't forgotten. As fans, we have not forgotten. So let's keep watching.
And then life would start. Life started when he came home.
And there's this sort of sense you get in the movie, and you get it whenever you read about Elvis. You would know better than anybody, obviously, that when he walked into a room, energy levels through the roof. I mean, he was Elvis Presley. The charisma was just crazy. Yeah. Even if he wasn't in a great mood, it was still crazy, this charisma. Do you remember that?
Oh, my God, yes. He'd walk into the room and it's like, whoa. I mean, he didn't realize, what he had as far as his appearance or what he felt or his charisma. But
I bet he did.
There was a few times when he'd turn around and he said, damn, I'm good looking.
Right, hang on. Come on. Do any of you think that Elvis didn't know he was good looking? Come on. Elvis knew he was God's gift to women. Elvis knew he was funny and charming and beautiful and talented. Come on, he knew. What's she on about? Elvis didn't know. He knew. He knew. I honestly think that she makes things up as she goes along. Seriously. And this thing, he would stand in the mirror, go, oh, look how good looking I am. Does anyone believe that? Does anyone think that Elvis was the kind of person that looked in the mirror and said, hey, look how good looking I am? It doesn't even fit his personality. Keep going.
His bathroom, and he'd be getting ready to go somewhere. But he had a great sense of humor, And I treasure those days sitting at the dining room table, and I was the only woman, and there'd be the guys sitting around, about 6 of us, and we would laugh and talk, and he ate late hours, actually around 9:30 or so, and we watched Johnny Carson. And as soon as the monologue was over, it's time to go to the movies. That he would rent a theater downtown. So life was fun when he was around. There's
a lovely story that Kaylee Spaney tells, who plays you in the movie. she was very impressed to learn that you did karate to a pretty high level. And you actually used to, for Elvis and his mates, you would perform your moves in a dress and heels.
Mm-hmm. Well, he made me do that a couple of times. I remember Raquel Welch came into the dressing room when he was performing in Vegas, and he'd be so proud of me that I learned karate, because he was a black belt, and he would say, "So, show one of your moves to Raquel," and I'm dressed up, and I said, "Do I have to do it right now? I'm in my dress." And he goes, No, you can do that back kick. Show how you do the back kick. Oh my God.
You still do it?
I can still do it.
Really?
Yeah, I can still do it. Don't make me do it, though.
What would it take to trigger a few karate chops? The wrong question.
A karate on uniform.
I think Piers Morgan is drooling now.
Let's talk about, you split from Elvis and you get divorced from Elvis, but you have this little girl, Lisa Marie, and she's your child that you have with Elvis.
Hang on, Walt.
His only child.
So you get right. He's moving on to talking about Lisa Marie. But remember, let's talk about, you split from Elvis, you divorced from Elvis. Why didn't he at that point say you had an affair with Mike Stone, the karate instructor, secretly, and then you decided that you wanted a divorce? Why didn't he say that? Why didn't he go, oh, and by the way, you also had an affair with your dance instructor? Come on, Piers Morgan, what are you doing?
What was that relationship like after the divorce between the three of you, would you say?
Well, because when I left, he adored her, and I never wanted to take that away from him. So I made arrangements that on Christmas or holidays or Easter, it was a point that I would send her to Graceland. Of course, the nannies was there with her. I would bring her there. That he had time alone with her. So even in Las Vegas, the same thing. I wanted them, to be close, which they were. And
was he a good father despite all the problems he was having?
He was as good a father as he could be. He was never around children, and it was, growing up. So he really, honestly, when she was smaller, he didn't quite know what to do with her.
Right, hang on.
But
Right, listen, guys. We have to remember this. I think Priscilla is winging it. He's just said, he's obviously asking if Elvis is a good father. And now I think she's completely made that up. Oh, he was never around children when he was growing up. So, he didn't know what to do with her. Come on. Do any of you for a second think that Elvis didn't know how to be around children? Seriously. A funny, playful man that loved kids. Do any of you think? I'll rewind it. I'm telling you, she's making it up as she goes along. She's winging it. I'm telling you now, I don't even know Elvis, and I know he was good with kids. I know he could make them laugh and make them feel loved and cared for. Elvis was so charming and charismatic and funny that he would have been a brilliant person around children. I laugh at the fact that she's made that up, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes.
It was, growing up. So he really, honestly, when she was smaller, he didn't quite know what to do with her.
Oh,
but as she got a little bit older, and then she could travel, to visit him and be with him for at least 2 weeks, when there was, like I said, Christmas or Easter.
It just infuriates me. It infuriates me that she is saying that Elvis didn't know what to do with her until she got older. Doesn't that drive you mad, guys? Now, I'm going to rewind that a bit. Now, look on the look of Piers Morgan's face. He says to her, was Elvis good with kids, blah, 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 with Lisa, sorry. She says he didn't quite know what to do with her until she got a bit older, which is bullshit, in my opinion. Now, look on the look on his face when she says it. He don't believe her. He doesn't believe her. Right, let's play it.
Visit him and be with him for at least 2 weeks, when there was, like I said, Christmas or Easter or something. Then he became closer to her.
His death was something that shook
we missed it. Let me go back.
for you.
to be close, which they were. Of course, the nannies was there. So I made arrangements that on Christmas or holidays.
Let's talk about, you split from Elvis and you get divorced from Elvis, but you have this little girl, Lisa Marie, and she's your child that you have with Elvis, his only child. What was that relationship like after the divorce between the three of you, would you say?
Well, because when I left, he adored her, and I never wanted to take that away from him. So I made arrangements that on Christmas or holidays or Easter, it was a point that I would send her to Graceland. Of course, the nannies was there with her. I would bring her there. That he had time alone with her. So even in Las Vegas, the same thing. I wanted them, to be close, which they were. And
was he a good father despite all the problems he was having?
He was as good a father as he could be. He was never around children, and it was
Such rubbish.
Growing up. So he really, honestly, when she was smaller, he didn't quite know what to do with her. But as she got a little bit older, and then she could travel, to visit him and be with him for at least 2 weeks, when there was, like I said, Christmas or Easter or something, then he became closer to her.
His death was something that shook the entire world. But for you and your daughter, it must have been a particularly seismic, shocking moment.
Yeah, for Lisa.
Devastating to get a call. Absolutely devastating. I had just talked to him the night before, actually. And 2 nights before. And to get that call, Joe Esposito actually called me and said, Scylla, Elvis is dead. And he was already emotional. And I just yelled, I thought he was kidding. You just never imagine that we would joke around all the time. And then when I found out that, it was true, and I just went to my bedroom.
I just want to say, guys, now remember, this woman was in regular contact with Elvis. Like, at the time, Lisa Marie was staying at Graceland. She was phoning him up almost every day. Yeah? Don't forget, we also have the divorce. The second divorce settlement was still going on, where she had her attorneys place the deed of trust, the charge, the lien on the Graceland, trying to demand more money. Remember, Priscilla was demanding more money, yeah, at this moment when he died. Now, remember, she's just forgotten. She's gone from, I spoke to him the night before to I spoke to him 2 nights before, yeah? So I'm not convinced. Her version of events here, when she found out that Elvis died, I'm not convinced that she's telling us actually what happened. It's her version. Let's keep listening, guys.
Stayed, and Joe said he'd send the plane for me, the private plane. And I just stayed in my room and couldn't believe it and cried, and I don't know.
It's interesting, even now, this is 50 years ago, pretty much, nearly.
Yeah.
It still has a profound effect on
I can still hear Joe Esposito's words. Scylla, Elvis is dead. And that was like, I just couldn't imagine him ever, especially, his age and all being so still.
She's saying she's basically saying I couldn't imagine the fact that he had died. Now, come on, guys. She was in close contact with him all through the 70s, 1977, yeah? She knew he was very unwell, very sick, chronically unwell. Yes, he had bloated. Anyone that saw Elvis in that year knew he was very sick and he could die at any moment. And she's talking about him dying as if it was a complete surprise, a complete shock. No way could that have happened. Does anyone for a second believe that this woman didn't know that he was seriously unwell? Remember, over-medicated as well, under a lot of stress. Come on.
And wanting to do so much and had so much planned, and not having him. not talking to him, not having him be the father of our child. And what, my big fear was Lisa, and how do I tell her? And she was only 9 at the time.
I have a daughter of 11, and I can't imagine a harder conversation to have.
Right.
How did you tell her?
Well, I just told her we were going to Graceland and we were going to go see Daddy, but Daddy won't be, Daddy will be resting. And she just asked me, and she goes, well, what resting? I've never actually told this before because it's been hard. But I said, well, he's going to go to sleep for a while. And she goes, will I be able to see him? And I said, yes, you'll be able to see him. You'll be able to see him. And then she sees him. And I don't think she really quite got it, but because she went out in the golf cart and started, she had a little friend and driving in the golf cart and all around the backyard of Graceland. So it didn't really hit her until later, I would say. I took her to Europe, actually, when I got back to LA.
So guys, she says that she was out with her friend going around in the golf cart, whatever they call it. Now, I've read things that she did actually walk in on Elvis's body and was screaming, my father is dead, my dad is dead, my daddy is dead. So let's keep going.
Paparazzi was around my home and making phone calls and trying to reach me, and that's what I didn't want her to see. So I took her with my sister and her, and we went to Europe for 2 weeks. And I wouldn't let her, in some of the papers at the airport, they had people selling the shock of him dying. They were selling the papers, and I just took everything and went the other way and didn't want her to see them. And I kept her from school, and I asked the teachers, please don't mention. I don't want kids coming up to her.
I mean, I can't even imagine, because it was such a huge story for the rest of the world. But for you, this is real life. This is.
Oh my God. Right, now listen, I don't want to sound heartless. We've got a divorced woman that divorced Elvis. Let's work out the years. 4 years, maybe 4.5 years earlier. Yeah? She's living with a different man. Is it Michael Edwards? I don't know. Who was Priscilla living with at the time of the death? Yeah? I'm trying to put it in my brain. You guys tell me, who was she living with when Elvis died? But you've got Piers Morgan. This is what bugs me about this interview. Piers Morgan is talking to Priscilla like they were still married when Elvis died. He's not talking to her like a divorcee that had run off with another man taking Elvis's child. He's talking to Priscilla as if they were still together, in bed together at the time of his death. We know he was with Ginger Alden. Even that's a bit of a story. Why is Piers Morgan treating her like she is his poor widow? That the man, he's basically talking to her as if Elvis was still in her bed when he died. You watch him. He's like, oh my God. What did you go through? Hello, do your research. They weren't together, hadn't been together for years. For years. She was so cruel to that man. At the time of his death, for, my opinion, for entertainment purposes, at the time of his death, she was with another bloke, another man, This Priscilla had fully moved on. At the time of his death, she was demanding more money in the second divorce settlement. She had placed a lien on Graceland's. Come on. What is Piers Morgan doing? Why didn't he do his research? This woman was not grieving in the normal way that a wife grieves. This wasn't a wife. This wasn't a widow. This was an ex from years ago. Yeah? So what is Piers Morgan doing? What planet is he on?
Still love. Mm-hmm. Still love today.
Now remember.
Still love today, yeah? Still mention.
Now this is the ridiculous bit where he says you still love him, yeah?
Didn't want her to see them.
Let me just pause it. He's trying to be Larry King. Larry King did this. Oh, you still love him, don't you? putting the words in her mouth. And I keep saying this. The interviewers do more damage. Yeah, Piers Morgan, Barbara Walters. They do more damage with the questions than even Priscilla sometimes.
And I asked the teachers, please don't mention, I don't want kids coming up to her.
I mean, I can't even imagine, because it was such a huge story for the rest of the world. But for you, this is real life. This is your man that you love, still love today.
Still love today, yeah. He was, like I said, he was unique.
Oh my God. Hang on.
Still love for the rest of the world.
Still love. Still love. No, come on. Right. I'm trying not to laugh, guys. We have to respect Elvis. They're talking about when he passed. God rest Elvis. We love him. We miss him. And Lisa. But he is saying to that woman, you still love him? You still miss him? Now, come on. This woman has probably had 15 to 20 boyfriends. She's lived with boyfriends. She lived with Mike Edwards for 7 years. She lived with Marco Garibaldi Garcia and had his child for 22 years. She had many other boyfriends, Robert Kardashian, and there's many others. But she sits on that program, and I'm not being hateful. I don't hate Priscilla. I'm not creating hate. I just want to expose the lies so we can defend Elvis. Anyone watching now, guys, I don't hate Priscilla. I want to defend Elvis. We, Team Elvis, want to defend Elvis. Right, I'm just... sorry. Right, I'm going to have to finish up in a minute, but let me just play a bit more of this. Now, do you understand, guys, what's happening here? He is treating Priscilla like they were still married. What is going on? What planet are we on?
But for you, this is real life. This is your man that you love, still love today.
Still love today, yep.
Oh,
He was, like I said,
come on. It gets worse. This is the man that you love, still love today. And she's like, yeah, it's still hard. Come on. It's like, is this serious? Is it like, hello? Is someone going to wake up?
he was unique. He was, his personality was unreal. He was caring. He cared for people. He had, he wondered why him.
She's winging it.
And there's stories about him. I don't know if you ever heard the story about there was a black woman who was looking at
Oh my God. I don't even want to hear her make up their little bullshit. Next.
to make the phone calls.
So they couldn't hear.
Yeah. And I've never really shared that at all, actually. But yes, he would either that or go out to the office and call. And that was kind of fun.
Do you remember your last conversation with him?
My last conversation, yes, was when Lisa was coming home, that she needed to come home because school was starting. And Lisa was there during that time.
Now remember, I know that the divorce settlement, the second one, that Priscilla had to lie to the judge, accuse Elvis of fraud and lying so that he would allow her to go for a second divorce settlement, because the first divorce settlement, it was agreed that they would never go back for a second divorce settlement. So she had to call him a liar and fraudulent, that he hid his assets, he hid his income, so the judge would allow the second divorce. I know, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, that they were arguing over money, property, a payment plan. This is why the deed of trust was created. A payment plan, because Elvis could not afford the divorce that she was demanding right up until the day he died. So the payments were going to have to be spread out in installments. This is why the charge was placed on Graceland, Elvis's home. That's what they were talking about on that last conversation. And yes, Lisa Marie was staying at Graceland. I think she spent the whole summer there. So yes, they probably were arguing about Lisa Marie. This was not a lovely, sweet, oh, how are you? I miss you. I still love you conversation. This was money, money, money. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Oh, and I want my daughter back. That's the truth, in my opinion. Not this lovely, sweet, oh, yes. Oh, I still love you. No, she was in bed with another man. Come on, let's get honest.
Who is it?
It's very, it's very poignant for me to talk to you, who's, in the end, you're a woman that had this extraordinary life and had this extraordinary relationship with this man. But here we are, I think he died in 1977, and here we are in 2023. And I can see the effect he still has on you, just on a personal, human level.
Yeah.
There's nothing tabloid or anything about this. This was a real, visceral love affair between you.
I miss him. I miss him very much.
This is a visceral love affair. This is not tabloid. That is about as tabloid as it gets. This is a headline news interview that went around the world. It's Sky News, yeah? Is it also not just Sky News? I'm trying to see what channel that was on. This was beamed around the world. And he says it's not tabloid. And she says, I miss him. I miss him. It's like, Are we understanding how this is like almost pre-rehearsed? Like Piers Morgan is literally saying to her, I'm not worthy, your majesty, you poor widow, you poor Presley. Come on, guys.
2023. And I can see the effect he still has on you, just on a personal, human level.
Yeah.
There's nothing tabloid or anything about this. This was a real, visceral love affair between you.
I miss him. I miss him very much.
Oh,
I miss his words. I miss his love. I miss his
what
laugh.
are you on about?
I miss his energy.
They
I miss
divorced
the fun times.
40
I
odd
think,
years
you
ago.
don't really realize the fun times that you're having until you go back and you look at your albums and your pictures and you go, oh my God, we had so much fun. We did so much. And, it's still
Now, guys, I don't want to sound hateful. Anyone watching now, any people watching, I'm not being hateful to Priscilla, right? I don't hate Priscilla. I want her to say sorry. I want her to apologize to the fans. I want her to apologize to Elvis. I want Priscilla to apologize to Riley and the twins, Philly and Harper. Apologize to her own daughter. But is anyone falling for that? Now, remember, guys, any of you watching out there that have not joined us in this conversation, I say this to you. That woman split up from Elvis in 1973. It was a horrible breakup. She was unfaithful to him, seriously unfaithful to him, and demanded the divorce. Now, I know Elvis was no angel, and Elvis could also be unfaithful. I accept that. That woman, the way she's talking right now, Priscilla Presley, and she's not a Presley, she's a Bueller. She took her name back without proper permission because she had given up that name on the first divorce settlement in 1973. Okay, does anyone believe that that woman, 40 odd years after, is it 47 years, 46 years after he died, 50 years after the divorce, does anyone believe a word she is saying? Let me rewind it because this is going to be the ending of this. Now, please, guys, we Team Elvis, we know the truth. We know that this is bullshit. But any of you out there, Priscilla fans or non-Elvis fans or people that have not joined us in this live stream, I want to play that to you. Please. In fairness to Elvis, does anyone believe that she still is in love with him and misses him and wants to be with him and is heartbroken, knowing that she's had at least 20 boyfriends since? And when they split up, it was nasty. It was brutal. It was bitter. Right, I'll play it.
I miss him very much.
Yeah.
I miss his words. I miss his love. I miss his laugh. I miss his energy.
I miss the fun times. I think, you don't really realize the fun times that you're having until you go back and you look at your albums and your pictures and you go, oh my God, we had so much fun. We did so much. And, it's still there.
Is there a song that whenever you hear it, you think, for whatever reason, there's one song of his that...
Memories.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pressed between the pages of my mind.
Yeah. God. Oh,
Yeah,
you can't make it up. You cannot make it up.
I don't listen to songs very often because it just, I go into it, another place. But I know sometimes I'm a little surprised at myself that I still get emotional. And the love is still there.
It's amazing, really. Many people, I think, might go through their entire lives without ever having that feeling.
Well, I think too is because he's so present. He's still so present. He's still so...
Right. Did you... What? Did you hear that? Piers Morgan. Now, we're talking about true love, yeah? True love. Piers Morgan is making a comment. I know what true love is. I have true love for my wife. I met my wife. Within 2 months, we were engaged. That's true love. You just know it's the right person for you. Very quickly, we had kids. We've been together 19 years, right? You just know when it's the one, yeah? Now, our relationship's difficult, yes. But come on, you know when it's the one. Now, hear what he just says. Some people... Now, Piers Morgan is talking about true love. He says, some people never know what that feeling is. Some people never have it. And I agree that some people never find love, not true love. Now, he is talking to Priscilla like she found true love. And he's praising her for finding it. Now, remember, they divorced in 1973. She ran off with Mike Stone and took Elvis's daughter and grabbed all his money. Yeah? An absolute fortune, nearly bankrupting Elvis. 50 years after that divorce, now we know what has gone on in that last 50 years. All the hundreds of interviews, the books trashing Elvis, the documentaries trashing Elvis, the biographies trashing Elvis, the TV dramas trashing Elvis. We know, don't we, guys? And he is saying to Priscilla, you're so lucky that you found true love. Not many people get it. Piers Morgan, what are you doing? Right, let's play it.
Well, I think too is because he's so present. He's still so present. He's still so affects people, but he, it's like when I go to Vegas sometimes, I think, my God, you go to the Hilton Hotel, you see these big showrooms, and you go, if people, Vegas has never been the same, I don't think.
There was only one Elvis. I mean, there are lots of pretenders to the crowd, but there's never been anyone like him.
Right, it's so true.
Since he died.
It's true. In the movie that Sophia did, in which he was angry, with Colonel Parker. And, yes, he was angry, and yes, he threw the chair or whatever, but he would, when he was angry, he would go, especially with Colonel Parker, he would go into that moment, because he just felt that Colonel was really deceiving him in many ways, that he wasn't giving him what he wanted, and yet he would talk behind his back, let's say, to whoever was doing the albums or whatever, the sound people even. He would have personal relationships with them. So I think that my memories go right to that and right, in the moment. And saving the movie was hard. And that Sophia was never making that movie to show the bad side of Elvis. That was a real moment when he was upset with Colonel Parker. And it showed that he had a temper. Yes, that's, what he felt, at that moment. But that didn't mean he was like that all the time. Hardly. But, He knew what he wanted, and he didn't want, someone to go against him when he knew, and he did. His instincts were absolutely right.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely right. So, people walk out, oh my God, he was, no, he was a human being and he had feelings. And
She's
yes,
waffling.
he had a temper.
She's just waffling.
He didn't show it that much, but when he did, he had every reason to.
When you're out and about, when you get on planes or wherever you may go, how do people react to you?
They're friendly, very friendly, and they ask me for my autograph, which sometimes surprises me. But they even recognize me, to be honest. But yes.
Someone
Right.
that often
Let me pause. Now, does anyone think that Priscilla is surprised when people recognize her? Does anyone believe that for a second, that Priscilla is surprised when they ask her for her autograph? I could show you loads of footage of Priscilla being chased down the road, asked for autographs by the paparazzi and by the fans, the Priscilla fans. People queue up for hours to get an autograph of Elvis's wife. People that have been brainwashed, that believe the fairy tale. They're still all they see. Let me just get the book. This is what somebody who has no idea about the truth, what went on for the last 50 years, they're all in love with this image. Yeah? That is impregnated into their brains. The perfect romance that only went wrong because of Elvis. And you can't change their minds. You cannot change their minds. Priscilla was the victim. And it doesn't matter how many times you say it, they're not going to ever change their minds unless we get an apology from Priscilla. If we get an apology from Priscilla, I believe we could turn the tide and make a difference. If Priscilla admitted her wrongdoing, apologized to the fans, apologized to the world, things could change. Things could change, guys. I'm going to have to end it there. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Quite a passionate one. We've still got a bit more to go yet. But I think you get the message, guys. You get the message, yeah? That it's like we're living on a different planet when it comes to Priscilla and Piers Morgan's version of events. Priscilla and Piers Morgan's version of the truth is completely warped. Anyway, the dog's barking, so I'm going to have to take the dogs for a walk. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you've liked it, please buy me a coffee. Hit the buy me a coffee button. I love it when you guys buy me a coffee. I like a pat on the back. You getting me a coffee is a thank you. It's my gold star. I love gold stars. So I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. I've loved it. But I'm out of here, guys. I got to rush off because I think my wife's pulled up as well. Love to all of you. Love to all of you.